Thanks so much for coming back to our conversation with entrepreneur, author, and financial literacy expert, John Hope Bryant. In your new bestseller, Capitalism for All, you talk about the concept of financial literacy, that it should not be an elective, something we talk about after school in programs, but it should be embedded in curriculum, starting in kindergarten. Why?
More so than that, Portia. It is a civil rights issue of this generation.
How so?
I'm convinced that this is what Dr. King would be focused on if he was alive today. It's as important as the right to vote, and we now know how important the right to vote is. We live in a capitalist democracy. If your day is not about God or love, your day is about money. And to quote Andrew Young again, to live in a system of free enterprise and not to understand the rules of free enterprise must be the very definition of slavery. So we live in this system that's controlled by money, but no one has ever taught us money. And it's not just so-called poor people. If you're, 70% of this country is living from paycheck to paycheck. If you're making $100,000 a year and watching this show, and you're Caucasian and middle class, you're living from paycheck. Half of them are living from paycheck to paycheck. If you make $250,000 a year, a third of those are living from paycheck to paycheck.
And I think people don't understand that because they think that's a big
everybody.
Task, right?
That's everybody. If you're living in Manhattan and you make $100,000 a year, it feels like $37,000 a year. So if you don't understand money,
right.
If you don't understand capitalism, capitalism understands you. So we made sure that every kid in Atlanta public schools has a child savings account at kindergarten. And studies have shown that if a kid has an account with money in it, $50, they're 75% more likely to go and graduate from college. Just that one fact, because you're connecting education with aspirations. So that's Mayor Andre Dickens and the city council that got it. And it's no coincidence that we're in the 10th largest economy in the U.S., Atlanta, Georgia.
So if you are watching from home and you're making $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year, that with these gas prices, with the cost of imports, you are really struggling, right?
Yes, you have too much month at the end of your money.
So your message to the families who are really struggling, it's not hopeless.
Oh, God, no. No,
what do you do? Where do you start?
My mother had a high school education, got a high school degree at 62, graduated and walked cap and gown at 62, made $15 an hour for 32 years and died a millionaire. But she had a credit score of 854, which when it went that high. And she bought and sold 7 homes. But she had a life insurance policy. She had a will, right? And she had a trust. And she had a poison pill in her will. Anybody who questions this will is removed from it. She was gangster about it.
Yeah.
So anybody watching this, if you're making $40,000 a year and you got 3 children, the federal government owes you a refund. That's the first thing I want you to do is call Operation Hope. I'm going to give you a $5,000 coaching scholarship worth a year's time to get your credit score up, your debt down, your savings up, and to get things qualified for you like the Earned Income Tax Credit. So in English, if you make $38,000 or $40,000 a year and have 3 children, the government owes you about $7,000 cash. And if you've never filed because you have no idea what EITC is, it's retroactive for 3 years.
So that just caught some attention. That
eyebrows just got to
went
check
up.
because of you. And anybody making less than $60,000 a year qualifies. Sorry, under 60,000. It might even be 65,000 now. You qualify for some kind of a refund. Go to Operation Hope and get your tax returns.
And thank you for making
refiled.
that available. I appreciate that. I want to talk to just about this concept of you mentioned some things there: will, property.
Get your credit score up is the most important
and getting
thing.
the credit score.
It lowers your cost of borrowing.
Because you talk about those are some of the things that impact how capitalism affects the middle class.
Yes.
You talk about 4 factors, in fact. There's credit score. There was a lot to why this matters, because I think people hear the word capitalism and kind of gloss over. But you say inclusion in capitalism is critical, and it's reflected in the states that are most diverse. Explain.
So diversity is not a moral issue. It's a money issue. The states that are more diverse are the more profitable. The companies that are the most diverse are the most profitable. And diversity has been proven to be an economic win. So in 1972, on the back end of the second Reconstruction, civil rights movement, and blacks really making a push for their own freedom, women got free. White women got free because white women benefited from affirmative action when blacks didn't. That's President Nixon, 1972. A woman couldn't get a bank account in 1972.
Right.
Couldn't get a loan unless her husband co-signed it. And I underscore this, and I'm saying a white, wealthy woman in 1972 had the same plight as a black, struggling woman. Because of that struggle of the Second Reconstruction, all women got freedom in 72. Today, a third of the U.S. economy are women. 8 to 10 trillion dollars a year are women contributing to the economy, all women. 41% of businesses are women. And most people going through college are women.
And most people watching the show, women.
And so that is just one proof point. That's 50-year-old study that proved that diversity is a net win. And when you have a country where you have 10,000 baby boomers leaving the economy every day, that's a statistical fact today. You need somebody to replace them. And so the country, whether you're white, black, red, brown, or yellow, you need to understand how economic green works. And when you have white, poor rural neighborhoods or black and brown urban neighborhoods that are a 500 credit score neighborhood, you have a check casher next to a payday loan lender, next to a rent-to-own store, next to a title lender, a liquor store, and a pawn shop. That's depression, and that's bad capitalism. And you lived at 61 years of age in that neighborhood. The minute you raise your credit score to 700, from 550, for every 50-point increase in your credit score, you live 5 more years. So in a 700 credit score neighborhood, you lived at 81 years of age, 15 minutes apart. So
there's a direct relationship
correlation
between all of
wealth,
this.
wellness, health, sustainability, aspiration, and the American dream.
We're going to pause right there on the American dream, because that is what everybody is still trying to get some form of fashion of, no matter where you are in your community. Stick around, more conversation right after the break.